Bye-bye.
See, Peter, he's too fast.
You gotta tackle me. It's B. You gotta press B.
I'm pressing B. He's too fast.
Welcome to the Nerdenthusiast Gaming Podcast, where today we're going to be discussing mini consoles, different versions of games. For example, deluxe editions, digital deluxe editions, collector's editions, etc. We're going to have a pulse check. A pulse check is basically a snapshot of video game prices, and today we're going to look at Army of Two, Elemental Master, Cruisin' Blast, Death Stranding collector's edition, and that'll pretty much wrap up the show. If you guys like what you hear today, please consider supporting us on Patreon, patreon.com/nerdenthusiast. You can support us for as little as $1 a month. And we're going to have a Patreon exclusive topic for this show. You can get access to that over there just by supporting us. I'm going to give a shout out to Bernardo this month. Thank you for supporting us on Patreon, Bernardo. We appreciate you.
Yes, we do. Thank you so much, Bernardo.
And that lovely voice you just heard is my great friend Wes. Wes, how you doing, sir?
What's up? What's going on?
Not much, man. Ready to hop into this. Excited to talk retro.
Retro-ish?
There's some new stuff in here, I guess, but it's a lot of retro stuff today.
Let's get it going.
Absolutely. Also, if you guys want to support us non-financially, you can do that also. Just give us a 5-star review over on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. That really does help us out quite a bit with the algorithm. You can leave a nice little review. We would appreciate it greatly. All right, first topic, mini consoles. There's lots of them, Wes. There's lots of them.
There's a bunch. It seems over the past couple years, they kind of like exploded on the scene.
And it all started with the NES Mini. Do you remember, before we talk about details, I just want to talk about the time. Do you remember the crazy hype that was going on when that thing launched?
Yes, I do. It was... The excitement of an NES Mini was like through the roof. Because I remember I was working at Level Up when my store was open, and everybody kept asking for it and asking about it. And, you know, and it came out, and then people were trying to turn around and resell them for like crazy amounts of money.
Were you guys carrying them at that time?
We weren't. We couldn't get any. They were hard to get.
Makes sense. Yeah, they were super hard to get. I was not working for GameStop at that time, so I had to use some connections, and I was able to get one, luckily. But I remember, like, that, you know, even, like, my brother-in-law, who, like, he's a little bit older than me. He doesn't really play games or anything, but he wanted that thing. He was like, oh, my God, this thing is awesome. Like, you know, I was able to help him get one. Mm-hmm. But everybody wanted one of those. Like, it was such a big deal because it was there was always those friggin' kiosks at the mall that has some ghetto ass thing with like, we're gonna get 200 games. It looks like an NES. It's like, you know, ghetto as hell. No, this was legit, and like everybody knew it was legit. And for the first time, like a lot of people, a lot of casuals, that they were back. They were like, "Let me get this thing, dude. Let me." It was a cheap way to experience a lot of the games they grew up with and loved. Again, using a modern TV with an HDMI input. And if I remember correctly, we've got like 20 games or so on the NES Mini.
Yeah. I can't remember the exact number, but yeah, it was a good number of them. You know, and they had all the classics. You know, the Zelda, the Marios.
Yeah, they had Bubble Bobble, which is one of my favorites.
The Mega Mans.
Mega Man 2 was on there.
Ninja Gaiden was on there.
Beloved Ninja Gaiden, absolutely. All the Super Mario games, 1, 2, and 3 were on there. Tecmo Bowl, can't forget about the sports, man.
Oh, man, everybody loved Tecmo Bowl.
Tecmo Bowl was so good.
I never got into it.
Dude, man. The hack was you just play as the Raiders. They had Bo Jackson, and that dude would just... he was like unstoppable in the game. It was ridiculous.
Okay, we all know how much Cleveland loves Tecmo Bowl, so let's start playing. I'm the Raiders, I'm Bo Jackson, and hopefully he'll show up.
That's no fair. Bo Jackson's too fast.
Guys, do we want Cleveland back or don't? Oh, here we go. Bye-bye.
See, Peter, he's too fast.
You gotta tackle me. It's B. You gotta press B.
I'm pressing B. He's too fast.
Going over here? Going over here now? Never get tired.
Change your guy, Quagmire. Change your guy.
I'm trying. Peter's cheating. You're cheating, Peter.
I'm not cheating. I'm following the rules. I'm just really good.
You're not really good. You just got Bo Jackson.
But I played the hell out of Tecmo Bowl. Man, just what a lineup, man. If you like RPGs, Final Fantasy was on there. If you want to crack your skull open, Ghosts and Goblins is on there. Like, so much good stuff.
It was, man. We're talking about it, and just all those games are just kind of like flooding back my memories. Like, oh, such goodness. But like you said, the downside was that it was hard to get, and then you had all the resellers.
Yep,
trying to make a profit.
They didn't only resell the console. If you remember this getting the additional controllers, like the official Nintendo ones, were super hard because that system only came with one, right?
It came with one.
Getting that second controller was, you could find third-party ones pretty easily, but if you wanted the official Nintendo one, it was a pain in the butt, bro. People scalping those too. Yeah, and it was, for the whole shebang, I think it was like $80. I think it was $79.99. Maybe it was $89.99, but like people had no problem paying that.
No, not at all. I mean, it was worth it.
Yeah,
it was worth it. But that's where it all started, man. The NES Mini, kind of kickstarted this whole mini console craze.
Yeah, it did. My only complaint, the one thing I would say was, I know why they did it. They gave you those damn rectangular controllers. I wish they gave us the dog bones. And I know they did it for nostalgia, that people wanted the dog bone, or wanted the rectangle ones because that's the one that they remember playing with. I get that, but the dog bone is such a superior controller.
I know we were selling like the third-party dog bone controllers at Level Up, and we kept selling out of them.
Dude, they're so much more comfortable. You don't have this stupid... Who wants to hold a square with you? Oh my god, man. I can't even.
But if that's what... Growing up, that's what we knew. So we didn't know any better.
Until we did. Until you got a Super Nintendo, or until you got that, the NES Mini, or the NES 2, or whatever it was called, like that top-loading NES. That one had the dog bone controller. That's where it came from.
Yep.
Let's go right into the next one. Super Nintendo, right? That came out after that. So Super Nintendo, people are super nostalgic for. I mean, the classic games on here are out of control. Contra 3, The Alien Wars, Donkey Kong Country, Kirby Superstar, Kirby Dream Course, Secret of Mana, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Hyper Fighting, Super Mario Kart, Super Mario World, Final Fantasy 3, Super Castlevania 4, Earthbound, F-Zero, Mega Man X. It goes on and on and on. I mean, it's crazy.
It was crazy. But the one thing that made the Super NES Mini so sought after, not only did it include Star Fox, but it included the unreleased Star Fox 2. And that was the only place you could get it.
That's right. And this was like $10 or $20 more than the NES. But just getting that Star Fox 2 was definitely worth it at the time. Like, this was an unreleased version. Nintendo canceled this basically because they were going to release Star Fox 64. They were already working on the N64 version of the game. And at that moment, that was the only place you could get it. Now it's available on Nintendo Switch Online. If you guys have a Switch and you pay for that, you could access it through there.
Yep.
But the only way you can physically own like a real copy of the game is to have the SNES Mini.
That was the only way to play it then.
Good times, man.
I really like my SNES Mini. I actually like that more than my NES Mini.
I think I agree with you because I'm pretty sure out of the mini consoles, I think I'm positive that's the one that I played the most for sure.
I mean, it gave me Contra 3, which is probably my favorite Contra. Alien Wars.
Yeah, Contra 3 is really good.
I love that game. I love it. I mean, Super Punch Out. I mean, such goodness.
Yeah, man. Tons of it.
And,
it's unbelievable.
And it was cool because they actually mimicked, as far as design, what the original console looked like. So yeah, so if you were one of those people that like really love nostalgia. Just seeing it, it just brings back all those memories.
Someone's gonna kill me if I don't say this. It also had Super Metroid and A Link to the Past. Like, come on, come on.
Yes.
Are you kidding me? Yeah.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
But then they started getting some competition. Then we get the Genesis Mini.
Genesis time.
16-bit arcade graphics,
The 30th anniversary. Genesis time.
16-bit action.
The 30th anniversary. Genesis.
Does.
Genesis.
Does.
Genesis.
Does.
Genesis.
Does.
Genesis does.
Get Golden Axe, Shinobi 3, Fantasy Star 4, Streets of Rage 2, Shining Force, and many more. Only with the Genesis Mini. 30 years young. Pre-order a 16-bit Genesis Mini now and get 40 legendary games plus 2 bonus games.
Genesis does.
Now, Sega had released third-party like versions of their consoles for a while. At that point, they released crappy versions from like At Games or whatever the hell that thing was at that time, and like
Yeah, I remember.
they were
that.
basically licensing out their stuff to other people. But this one was made by Sega.
This was legit, and this had a really good lineup.
Did
It had a really good lineup. It actually had more than what Nintendo had to offer for their two.
oh, this one had way more games. Way more games.
I mean, if you were a Sega head, then you remember Sonic the Hedgehog, Echo the Dolphin, Castlevania Bloodlines, Toe Jam and Earl, Altered Beast. I mean, all Sega's like heavy hitters.
Yeah, Castle of Illusion, Earthworm Jim, Streets of Rage 2, Shinobi 3. Contra Hardcore if you want to kill yourself. That game's ridiculously hard.
Strider,
Just so
Road
much.
Rash. Why they included Virtual Fighter 2, they could have left that garbage off, but it was on there. It was on there.
I agree 100%. That definitely didn't need to be on there. Kid Chameleon was on there. That's like, I love Kid Chameleon. I was so happy that was on there. I was like, you can't have this without Kid Chameleon.
Yeah. Eternal Champions, Fantasy Star, Golden Axe. I mean, but they had Beyond Oasis. Beyond Oasis to buy a cartridge is expensive.
This is a big reason why I like the
Mhm.
mini consoles, especially when you branch outside of Nintendo. Because for the most part, the NES and the SNES Mini were like, they were games that sold millions of copies. You can go find one for like, generally speaking, $20 to $30. In some cases, you spend like $50, maybe $60. But for the most part, you can find those cartridges. Once we get to the Genesis Mini, then it's like, oh man, there's some heavy shit here that's like expensive to get in any other circumstance.
Yes.
Granted,
Yeah.
I know you can emulate. Don't leave a comment telling me you can. I'm aware of emulation. I'm 40, almost 42 years old. I know what the hell emulation is. I'm talking about a legit way to buy it.
Yeah, they had some definitely some heavy hitters. Like I said, once I saw Beyond Oasis, I was like, ooh, this is an expensive way to actually play this game.
Yeah, I mean, they just had so many great games in there, much like the SNES. Then after that, they released the Sega Genesis Mini 2, which was kind of a surprise to everybody. I remember when they announced this, I was like, what? This is wild. And the weirdest thing was they must have not thought this was going to sell well in America, because when you and I both ordered it, it was through Amazon Japan.
Yes, correct. It was, you couldn't get it in America.
Yeah, but the weirdest thing was there was like an American version. Like the box is all in English. You know, there are Japanese games on there, but the majority of the games are like US games. Like
They
North
are.
American games.
I got mine right here.
Yeah. Dude, like, why didn't they just release this as like a mass market item? I have no idea. I have no clue.
I mean, as much as I loved my Genesis Mini 1, I was super stoked for the 2. Only because they included some rare, hard to find, European version games.
Mm-hmm.
Was Alien Soldier, which was only available in the PAL regions, and it included some Sega CD stuff.
It did. That was another surprise. It was like, what do you mean Genesis 2? And they're like, Sega CD stuff's on here. I think their thought was nobody's gonna buy a Sega CD if we just release like a Sega CD Mini. Like no one's gonna buy it, so we have to just include it with the Genesis 2.
I mean, maybe it's just me, but I wish they released like a little attachment to put underneath, just because, and it didn't have to do anything.
Dude, me and you, I agree with you. That would be awesome if it just attached on there and like maybe give you like a few other games or something, or no games or whatever.
They didn't have to give me any games.
The problem is so few people would have cared that it wouldn't have been worth their time and their money. I'm sure that was the rationale behind it.
I guess. I mean, I would have been happy. I love my Sega CD. I have fond memories of my Sega CD, standing in line all day long to get my Sega CD. And so, yeah, I was super happy when I saw that they were including some of their titles like Sewer Shark. I mean, granted, the game was what it was, a lot of full motion video, but still, it was included.
Yeah, they had, I don't know, somewhere between like 7 and 10 titles on there. Sonic the Hedgehog CD was on there.
Mm-hmm.
Shining Force CD, the sequel to Echo, Tides of Time was on there. I wish they would have done. I'm not even exaggerating, because I don't see the point in buying a 32X, because there's only like a handful of games that I would want to play.
Mm-hmm.
But for you to give us Saturn games and not just throw in like Knuckles Chaotix, like that's like the one game I would really want on 32X. Like, come on, man, you could have just dropped that in there for me.
If they did a 32X version.
Not a whole version, but I mean, if you're gonna throw in some Sega CD games, why not? The 5 or so games that anybody would care about on the 32X, why didn't you just dump those in there too?
Yeah, they could have. They definitely could have. And it included, you mentioned it, Sonic CD, which everybody says is probably the best version of Sonic out there.
It's good. It's legit.
It is good. It's really good. It's really good. Final Fight CD, because that alone, if you own the actual CD, is going for a hefty penny. I know for the longest time it was like between $300 to $500 at one point, at the height of the craze. So yeah, it was nice to see some of that stuff. Robo Alesta is another one that's by itself is still kind of pricey today.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to talk about pricey, Crusader of Senti is in there, and that is like the most expensive Genesis game, if not like certainly top 3. That game is over $1,000, Wes. So just that alone is worth getting this thing for. Like,
oh yeah.
If you don't know what that is, it's basically like Zelda, but for Sega. That's the best way I could describe it. And there's other big titles in there too, man. There's tons of. This system has a lot of like hidden gems or like second tier games that you were just like, dude, there's tons of them though. Tons of them.
Splatterhouse. Streets of Rage 3.
Yes.
I'm just looking, Rolling Thunder 2. That was another one that's kind of like, no one talks about Rolling Thunder. And the original arcade game, I loved. And it never came to console. But then they did Rolling Thunder 2 and 3 for the Genesis. So this one included Rolling Thunder 2. So I was happy to see that.
Yeah. Shadow Dancer's on here.
Yeah.
Outrun. Outrun's awesome. Golden Axe 2.
Vector Man. So much goodness.
Absolutely. Now, this one's a little harder to find now. This is not like crazy expensive, but it's definitely more expensive than the other mini consoles. Then we have the TurboGrafx 16 Mini, which is even more expensive. Like, that is like the most expensive one right now as far as those mini consoles go to get. This was also like a limited release. It was only released through Amazon. Konami has the rights to it. Konami's the one who made the TurboGrafx Mini. And it has a lot of the games you would want. Like, if you were to buy a TurboGrafx and get the games you would want on the console, a lot of them come included with this automatically. So it's a good way to get everything all at once in one shot.
Bro, I missed out on the TurboGrafx Mini. I was so upset.
I told you to get it, Wes. I
I
don't know.
was so upset. I just it I keep looking to see if I could like come across one somewhere, anywhere. I still go on Amazon just to see, and it's like, nope, this product's out of stock.
Oh, you can find them. You're buying them on like eBay or something, but they're like double the price. They were $100. Now they're
Mhm.
like $200, $250, somewhere in that range.
See, I'll pay up to 200 for one, but at the ones that I did find, this was a while ago, they were going for like $500, and I was like, yeah, no,
What?
yeah, no.
Nah. My game I do, they're only between like 250.
Okay.
So you can find them. You probably just have to spend some time on eBay, but you could find them.
Yeah, so upset I missed out on it because like you said, that had some good ones. Like the games that people would buy. If you had a 32 TurboGrafx 16, I'm sorry,
Mm-hmm.
because it had Snatcher on there.
It has the Japanese version of Snatcher. Yeah,
Mhm.
so not only does it have like the PC, not only does it have the TurboGrafx games, it has 32 PC Engine games. The only problem with that is some of them they doubled up. So they'll have a game that's on, the PC Engine that is also on the TurboGrafx. So it's the same game, just you're getting the Japanese and the North American
And
version.
the North
So
American version.
that's kind of cheap, but we're talking about the TurboGrafx. It didn't have like a wide user base. It didn't have a
Mhm.
billion hits. So you're gonna get a lot of what you want out of there. Not only did it have Snatcher, it had Dracula X, which was
It
like,
had Dracula X.
yeah,
Even though it did come out for Super Nintendo, it's still a very hard game to find.
yeah. The SNES version is pretty expensive too.
But yeah,
But
oh man, it had Bonk on there.
mhm.
It had R-Type, which was one of the hardest shooters I've ever played in my life.
Alien
Splatter
Crush, which like people love.
Splatterhouse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So upset I missed it. So upset I missed it.
you can. I mean, as long as you're willing to pay, you can get it. It's not crazy expensive. Like $200 isn't that bad.
Yeah.
It's not like it like quadrupled in price or anything like that.
We'll see. Next year we got gaming convention season coming up, so maybe I could find one then. We'll see.
If someone's been sitting on it for a while, you can probably get them down to like 150, and then that's not much more than what they originally cost, anyways.
True. So we go from like goodness to not so good.
Oh
And
my god!
the PlayStation Mini, so many people were excited when Sony announced that they were going to jump into the mini market.
I was one of them. I was like, "That's great! Yeah, give
So
me
many people.
give me your best PlayStation One games." Even then, like I have a bigger library now because I'm still continuing to expand my PS1 library. Even today, like I bought a new PS1 game within the past 3 months. So
Okay.
I'm still buying PS1 games to this day, but I never had like a huge library. So I was like, come on, give me the stuff that I'm missing. Go ahead and tell them what we got, Wes. Why don't you give a little taste of what we ended up getting in this system?
Okay, I mean, we got, as far as title wise, we got Battle Arena Toshinden, which was one of their launch titles. I mean, back then it was amazing. I tried to play it recently, and I'm like, oof.
Mhm.
We got Cool Borders, we got Destruction Derby, we got Final Fantasy VII,
Okay,
Intelligent Cube, which is one of my favorite puzzle games,
that's cool.
Jumping Flash. We got Siphon Filter. You got Tekken 3. I mean, so we
Those are
had
legit.
some good titles on here.
Yeah,
The problem was they all played like trash.
most of them did. So
Most of them did.
there was 7 games. First of all, let's start at the beginning. There's only 20 games on this console, right?
Mhm.
And when you think heavy hitters for PlayStation 1, does your mind go to Rainbow Six? Does your mind go to Ridge Racer Type 4 or Rayman or Jumping Flash? I mean, I'm not saying anything bad. I'm not trying to trash these games, but these should be like the top tier 20 PlayStation games.
It should.
And they're
I
not.
agree.
You got Resident Evil, sure. You got Metal Gear, sure.
You got
You get a
Twisted Metal.
handful. Yeah, you Twisted Metal, sure.
But
7, maybe,
no,
out
no
of
one,
20?
no one cared about Mr. Driller.
No one cared about Mr. Driller. And Intelligent Cube is great, but it's niche, dude. No one
Oh,
gave a shit about
man.
Intelligent Cube either. Destruction Derby, they're clamoring West for Destruction Derby. Give me more Destruction Derby. Come on, man. And to your point, here's all the ones that have the PAL version, which run at a crappier frame rate. Battle
Mhm.
Arena Toshinden, Cool Borders 2, Grand Theft Auto, Tekken 3. Why do you want your fighting game running at a slower frame rate? Explain that one to me. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, okay, a shooter. You want a shooter at a crappier frame rate? Sure. Go ahead. And I might have missed Jumping Flash. That's also one of the PAL versions. So that alone, just between the lineup of games and the PAL versions, I was like, I'm not paying you money for this machine. Like, forget it.
Yeah.
I'm sure you bought it. I know you, Wes. I know you
I
got
did.
one. Yeah, you did.
I did buy it. I'd rather play my Genesis Mini 2 all day long. All day long.
There was a point, because I went back to working at GameStop, and I was there when this came out, and I was there when it got discounted. There was a day where they were $20, and I was like, no. It's like I could spend my $20 on much better things. Never bought it.
It's funny because it started off with the NES Mini and how hard it was to get one. The SNES Mini. Not as hard, but it was still, scarce.
Right.
The Genesis Mini, the Genesis 2 Mini, couldn't find it. TurboGrafx, we already said, very limited, can't find it.
Mhm.
PlayStation Mini, they were all over the place. All over the place.
Like 6 months after they came out, you probably find them in like a Five Below and shit. They were all, no one cared. No one cared.
All over the place. That was sad. I was like, oh man.
You know how it was bad? Because PlayStation only made one run of them too. There were so many left over from their original like stock because everybody was sure they were going to sell them until people found out the games that were on there. And then half of them were like PAL versions. They just sat there, bro.
Mhm.
They never had to make another run. NES, Super Nintendos, getting them in all the time, bro. Selling out of them like crazy. Couldn't keep them in stock. PlayStations, no. When we were selling them for $20, that was like the original shipment that came in. They sat there the entire time, and we're just trying to get them out of the store.
Bro, and the funny thing is, and I'm so happy because the resellers that bought multiple to try to flip them got stuck with them.
They got burned real bad, that's for sure. The tide has turned a little bit. They're a little bit more expensive now. I think they go for maybe $60 or $70 or something now.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't even want that as a collector's item. Like, I don't even care. Like, I don't want your garbage. Like, give me something worthwhile, and I will pay you for it.
Yeah, Sony definitely could have did a whole lot better.
Yeah.
A whole lot better.
And I want to go back to one thing real quick before someone drops a goddamn comment. I know you can emulate it. I know you can mod these. I don't care. I don't care. If I wanted to do that, I would just hook up a computer and play the damn games. I wouldn't even bother with the PlayStation Mini. I would skip that thing entirely. Just to be clear.
Oh man, yeah. The mini market, man, it kind of came and went. But there were a couple others sprinkled in here or there, just as honorable mentions, because Neo Geo did one, which I have sitting right here.
Mm-hmm.
Neo Geo Mini. It has 40 games on it. It actually, if you can see it, it looks like a little arcade. It hook up to HDMI, but it had their hits. It had Metal Slug. It had Fatal Fury. It had Samurai Showdown. I mean, it had a lot of the good Neo Geo titles.
All right, so now we're gonna flip positions. This is the one that I regret not getting because I never got that one. And the fact that it connects to a TV, it's not just a mini
Mhm.
arcade, is pretty damn cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, I like it. I've never hooked it up to a TV. I always played it like by itself, just to have. But it's yeah, they did a good job with that one.
How many games were on it? Like 40, you said?
40.
That's legit. Like, dude, if PlayStation at least put out 40 games, you'd have a
Mhm.
lot more hits on there. Like, if they had 40 games, maybe you'd have 15 like real big hits.
Yeah.
Oh man.
The Art of Fighting. I said the Fatal Fury series, King of Fighters, Samurai Showdown, 2 and 4, 2, 4, and 5, Magician Lord. Oh man, a lot. They had a lot of good stuff on here.
Yeah, I wish I got that. Like that is a regret of mine. I could probably check on eBay and stuff and find
Mhm.
one, but I don't know that I feel like doing that.
I do come across these from time to time at various game shops.
Are they like going for like a higher rate, or is it just kind of like
I
middling
think
with where it
no,
was?
no, I think they're going for like maybe 100, maybe 150
It's not too bad.
from what I've seen.
I think they were like close to 100 when they came out, right? Because they have the screen and they have the arcade thing. It had to
Mhm.
be around $100 at least.
Yeah, the most, yeah, 100, maybe 129
Okay.
tops. But yeah, it was around that $100 mark. Another one, real quick, that came out. Atari's been all over the place now, so now we have the Atari. They came out with their 400 computer mini. Um, eh, it came with 20 games, but it gives you the ability to add more.
Sure.
Because Atari did a computer like after the 7800, they started to shift to the more home computer aspect of it, which lets you do actual computer stuff and play games at the same time. So they
I'm
came out with
imagining you
that.
could like write some like basic code or something. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
But this is just for games, and you can add games to it. Um, and then ColecoVision did their mini with their
Mhm.
games included.
Yeah.
So I mean, there were a couple others sprinkled in here, but yeah, the ones we talked about were like the main ones.
Yeah. Commodore released one. There was a Commodore Mini.
The one that is coming out though, that I am really interested in is the Vectrex Mini.
Oh man, they might have me, Wes. I haven't bought a mini console in a while, but if this thing is legit
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, oh, coming, we're talking about the Vectrex. What did it have? Like 30 games or less? Like the library is super small.
It is small. I have my Vectrex, and I really love my Vectrex. But for them to put out a mini, oh man, I would be all over it.
I have a couple concerns. Like I would want to have the library. Like you should
Mm-hmm.
have almost that entire library intact.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be kind of expensive because there's a friggin' screen. It's not it's not just you buying a console. There's a screen involved. And my other concern is how good is that screen to reproduce those graphics? Because they're not going to be original, vector graphics. They're going to be like it's going to be emulating it
It's
in
going,
one sort of
yeah.
way or another. So how good is that emulation? And if I think this is something where I would wait for a reviewer to come out and like somebody I trust, and they're like, no, this is legit, then I would give them my money.
My concern is because with the original Vectrex, each game came with an overlay that
Yes.
you have to put on the screen. So how is that going to work? I mean, I don't know, unless they give you the games that are included, they give you the overlays.
I'm intrigued for sure. Like this sounds like something I'm interested in. It's just can they hit the mark or not? And they've already, if you guys don't know, they've already far surpassed their Kickstarter goal. So this is happening. It's just a matter of the execution. And I'm gonna stay skeptical until someone
Mm,
like I really trust is like, no, it's legit. Then I
yeah,
will happily hand them my money.
I would gladly give them my money.
Are you gonna try to do the Kickstarter or pre-order this, or are you gonna wait until like reviews start to roll out?
Ah, I don't know. You know me, man. I'll I may do the Kickstarter and pre-order it.
How's that ROG Ally treating you, Wes?
Yeah.
Wes will tell me all about it, and then I'll decide.
Most likely. But yes, I am very excited for the Vectrex Mini.
Hell yeah. I am too. I'm very interested to see what they can pull off. Now I have 2 questions. I want to go back to everything that we just discussed. We're going to wrap this segment up with these 2 questions. Wes, we're going to make some picks. We're going to make 2 different picks right now based on the mini consoles that we talked about today.
Mhm.
So, the first option you have is going to be which of those consoles has the best lineup of games? The best lineup of games. Because I have another question in a second. Here, let me give it to you now. Because the
Okay.
second question is the most interesting lineup of games, which are very different questions.
Which are very different questions. Okay. I would say the Super Nintendo Mini, I think, has the best lineup
Okay.
because everything on there was like top notch, A plus.
Okay.
The most interesting would be the the Mini 2, the Genesis Mini 2, in my opinion.
100% agree with you. Both of those.
Yep.
That's exactly what dude, the SNES, it's just banger after like they legitimately were like, what are the best games on this console? And they're pretty much all on there. Like you could probably pick or choose like a few, but dude, the SNES lineup is insane. The Genesis Mini 2 is the most interesting by far because it's like, all right, we did the Genesis Mini 1. We could have probably put a few of these titles on here, but we're going to include them in on the 2. Also, there's going to be hard to find shit. Also, there's going to be Sega CD shit. Also, there's going to be games from Japan. Just a smorgasbord of stuff that you would want.
Yes.
After getting the first one. And definitely the most interesting, in my opinion. I think a shout out to the second thing would be most interesting would be the TurboGrafx Mini 2, just because you're not getting a complete TurboGrafx collection, but you're getting a lot of the TurboGrafx heavy hitters on there.
The heavy hit. Oh yeah, without a doubt.
But yeah, dude, the Genesis, 100% agree with you. I don't know who else would disagree, but you can leave a comment. Go ahead, tell us we're wrong. Tell us we're right. Drop a comment. Let us know your thoughts on which one has the best lineup and which one has the most interesting lineup. That's what I want to see in the comments below.
Or just leave a comment just to let us know your thoughts on the mini consoles in general.